Everybody. My name's John. I'm a friend of John's from Minneapolis, Minnesota. And I think of all of us here, I might have a rather unique introduction in last 26 years with John. John, how many of you knew that John was a corporate consultant? Can you believe that? Yeah, you knew it, but did you see him practice it? No. Yeah, I did, firsthand. It was frightening. If you haven't ever read his book, The Phoenix Agenda, I would encourage you to do so. And that's how I came to know John. I read The Phoenix Agenda, and it was so outside a space that I was comfortable in that I had to meet the man. And then I met him, and we hired him. I was at West Chicago in a General Mills plant of about 1,000 people at the time, and a very traditional, tough union environment. And John came in and he melted that place down. He melted, starting with me. You know, he talked about being present. He talked about making choices. And he'd say, there's no right or wrong, but you have to understand there's consequence. So help people understand consequence. And that's about communication and education and being a teacher. And so over the course of a couple years, I worked with John, and he worked with our team. He worked with our union. And he created a place by which we took hostility to kindness. And we made tough decisions, but we did it where people could still carry themselves with respect and dignity. And imagine the impact that would have on a struggling young manager who's in that fight every day, and turn it into something so productive. It was fabulous. It was fabulous. You know, he called, so I'll try not to ramble, but I'm known for my rambling. John called me one day, and we were talking for about 5 minutes. And he said, well, John, where are you? I said, John, you called me. I'm in my office. You called my number. And he goes, yeah, but you're nowhere near this conversation. He says, when you're ready to be present in this conversation with me, dial me back. And he hung up. I mean, he did it kindly. He did it kindly. But he hung up, and I was like, good call out. Gathered myself, kind of put the rest of the things that were going on in the day on a shelf, called John back, and we had a very constructive relationship. So what happened over the next 24 years? I don't play guitar, I don't sing, and I don't build guitars. But I have a son, Ryan, who's here with me, who's a singer-songwriter, and he plays guitar, and now he builds guitars. And I couldn't admire him more. And that all started because of John Whiteside. I stayed in touch with John because he's such a wonderful guy, and he was kind enough to remain friends with me, although it be at a distance. And he built me a little stepladder. Any of you ever see the stepladders he used to build? Yes. Yeah. He built Peg and me a little stepladder. Our house burned down, 100% demolished, after we moved to Minneapolis in 2004. I have 2 pieces of furniture that survived the fire. Somehow that stepladder that John built is in our home today. I don't know. I don't think that's by accident. So over 10 years we stayed close. Ryan was a singer-songwriter pursuing his music in Chicago. John called and told me about the guitar he built and so on and so forth. And I asked him to build a guitar for Ryan. I thought, what a wonderful gift that would be. John said no. That he wouldn't do it. I was persistent for about a year, and he finally said, on 2 conditions. Don't ever ask me when it'll be done, and we're not going to talk about price. I was pretty sure John wasn't going to gouge me, and I wasn't worried about time. So John set out to build the guitar. 2.5 years later, through some health issues and some timeouts, we brought Ryan out to this shop right here, and John gifted Ryan the second guitar he ever built. Flash forward now to just a couple years ago, just pre-COVID. Ryan and I come back out to visit John. John works his magic on Ryan. Ryan now is building guitars in his own shop in his garage in South St. Paul, Minnesota. If that's not a span of influence that exceeds someone's line of sight, I don't know what it would be. That's 26 years from a corporate consultant to my son, who I wanted to be a corporate engineer, building guitars in his own garage, and I couldn't be more happy that he is. That's the influence of a John Whiteside. I can't respect the man. I couldn't have been befriended by a better man, and I couldn't have had a person of better influence in my life. That's what John's meant to us. So thank you for having us out here today.
Who else wants to come up and tell some stories? Maybe play a song or two. While you're thinking about it, I could tell you that when I met John and started making my guitar here, I was going through a lot myself, as all of you probably understand. And this became a sanctuary and a place of peace and presence and just being honest and open with each other. And I learned to just be me. And John taught me that and a lot more. And I can't even speak to everything that he taught me, but who else?
Hello, my name is David, and I was fortunate, like all of you, to have John Whiteside in my life. And in this very shop right here, we created one of my prize projects. It's not my possession now, but it was built here for my son by me, and with John's guidance. My goal was to deliver a guitar to my son when he graduated college, and because of John Whiteside, that was possible right here in this shop. But I met John not through guitars. We were in the Guild of New Hampshire Woodworkers when we first were introduced. And John decided to do the spin-off for building guitars. And we both attended shops all around New Hampshire on guitar building. I learned a tremendous amount from everybody, but it was John who invited me into his shop to make it happen. And so we all know that influence that John has had on us, but on a lighter note, I have to share one of my funniest experiences with John, which you have to all know that John had one of the greatest sense of humor, and he was very comfortable in his own skin. So we were both challenged in the hair department, and one of these times I came to the shop, I had discovered that one of my other friends was challenged in the hair department, flare hair. So I came to the shop with my with my hair. John got the biggest kick out of that, and he's like, "David, where'd you get it?" I said, "I got it at a car show." The very next time I came here, John said, "Oh, wait till I show you what I have." He went out live. He got his flare hair, and then he said, "Where's Holly?" Then, do you remember the lunch we went to?
Yes.
John says, "Oh, let's go out to lunch. We'll bring our flare hair." And Holly was nice enough to go with us, and she sat through there, and John just got the biggest kick, and so did I because of him. Just very comfortable going into this restaurant. Nobody knew us. Well, they probably knew John, and just down the road here, and you just love the look of people. They want to do the double take. They look and they look away, and it's like, is it real? Are these guys for real? They both have the same hairdo. I just want to share, as much as everything else that John's contributed, he had the greatest laugh and chuckle, and he just loved people, and he just spontaneous. So, and I'm very happy that my son now has that guitar, and I think it's one of his cherished possessions. And the very first music that was played on that guitar, I do not play. John played it on a CD. John recorded all the photographs and put it on a CD, so when I gave my son his guitar, he now has the memory of guitar, John, and the whole experience. So anyways, I just wanted to share. That's